In last 7 days, I got around 40,000 LinkedIn impression along with 12 plus meetings booked, but I have less than 1100 followers in my LinkedIn, and everything is done by AI. I have not done anything. Let me show you how you do it. Getting content ideas on the basis of different awareness journey, refining hooks, refining copy, and generating carousel or infographics. Everything is handled by Claude Code or Codex. So basically I have two setups. One is agent.md and claude.md. So agent.md is for Codex and claude.md is for Claude Code. So if you open claude.md, what we have here is we have every workflow, like how we process, how to think of the whole folder, whole directory, and all those details. Similarly, we have agent.md file as well. Same goes here as well. If I want to create a content, then how it should process. If I want to create any assets, then how it should process. It's just the main directory where we say that these are the, like for example, if you want to create the content, then here you have to refer. So this is just a reference. This is the index, but the main thing happen inside content. Like for example, I have the content directory here. If you go into the content directory, there are some post types which includes examples. For example, this is the dom type for the LinkedIn. If you open it, you can see different types of the post. That is for training the model. Like these are the best performing post, and every my post whichever you generate has to follow this format. Along with that, what it does is it has list of the hooks to be selected from. Like here is hooks.md file. So from that it selects the hooks, how to think of the hooks, what are some examples of hooks, everything are stored here. And this is mentioned in the workflow. Like whenever I say create content, then what it does is it follows this process, like get the ideas, then select the hooks, then follow the dumbed down post types or whichever post type I have mentioned, and on that basis it will create the post. So here are some of the workflows that I have mentioned. Like for example, in the Claude, there are commands. So what we do is, like here are different things we have predefined as a skill. So for example, if you want to get the ideas, then here are the refined ways, like where should you search, how to get the ideas, all those details are stored here. And similarly for creating the content, like if you want to create the content, then first identify which platform, what type of post you are creating, load the business details, all our context, and all those details. Like for example, it could be see for the competitors post or get some ideas, then different funnel gate, like whether it's for top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, refine that, what to write in the CTA, what ICP to target, and all those details are pre-mentioned here. It's like, just think it like creating a workflow that you currently do. Like for example, if you create content, like first of all you go to Reddit and get ideas, or go to Twitter and get ideas, then you can create the similar workflow here. Just chat with the Claude and say to create an MD file. Then in the agent.md file, you just mention everything like how to process and how to think of it. And along with that, what you need to do is, like for image generation, you can also build using the HTML, or you can connect with different APIs. Like for example, I have connected with multiple APIs. So if you go into tools section, so if you go into the tool section, we have like different skills, like for the carousel generation, for image generation. So if you go to the image, there are different Python file. What we do is, like we use that for creating image, and we have like different prompts pre-written that defines like how image should be processed and all those details. Like we use nano banana, sometime we use Python image generation, and different workflows for creating the image. So everything can be mentioned in the folder, and you have to create a main directory, that's agent.md or claude.md, in which you explain every process you do. And for that, add additional skill, like AI can do itself everything, right? For example, for the copywriting as well, what we have done is, like you can ask it to create the copy, it can create the good copy, but it won't be create unless you give everything. Like there are the copywriting principles it has to follow, right? There are some persuasion psychology that it has to follow. We have added everything, every skills that you think before creating content. Create that in the folder and ask it to refer to this folder, refer this to file before creating any content. So main thing is around like creating the agent.md and creating the workflow, plus adding the skills that will make it more, giving it more context, so that it becomes more powerful. And for image generation, as I showed, there are third party involved, right? We use APIs and all those. You can also connect that APIs and all, as I've shown in the tool section. So if you go into the tool section for creating image, we have nano banana, right? So here So here we have created a code like how it has to process, how you have to think of a given idea, and it will process, it will use Fal AI for now for generating any images. You can do it for any workflow, like we have done it for the outbound as well. Like if you see here, we have done it for different managing different businesses, we have done it for outreach as well, we have done that for managing personal staffs, different tools and all those details. So main thing is like using the Claude Code or Codex is building one agent.md file, which is the main brain of everything. That is the guidance, that is the index where different files are stored, how to process and all those. If you have sub process like image generation process or content generation process, then you can add it in skills, that's command which is inside like .claude file. There is the commands, you can create these commands. So whenever we say create content, it will follow different work by workflow. And addition to that, add more context to your AI, because AI is smart but it's not that great without adding context. If you add copywriting principles, if you're writing hook principles,